All right, Shalom Boaz here. Well, I've been wanting to make this video for a minute now, but definitely now is the time. And it's unfortunate. It really is unfortunate. And what I wanted to talk about was the quote unquote Black Hebrew Israelite movement. Now, I'll start off by saying this. We know that in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, it speaks about a people. It speaks about a people that disobeyed the commandments of the Most High. And as a direct result, curses would come up on them. And as a direct result of those curses, they will be the least of all the nations. They'd be sent into captivity. The children will be sent into captivity. The women, it prophesies what would happen to the men. It prophesies what would happen to the women. And we clearly see this manifests today as knowledge increases. And we're seeing an explosion of the descendants of these people wake up to the knowledge of who they are. It's a beautiful thing, okay? However, the condition of these people and the condition of their minds is also being manifested as well. And this is a direct result of the captivities, because we know that these people have been in 7 captivities. The Babylonian captivity, the Medes and Persian captivity, the Assyrian captivity, the Greco-Roman captivity, the Egyptian captivity, now this American captivity. We've been in a lot of captivities. And as a direct result of these captivities, we've learned the ways of the heathen. And this is clearly perpetuated in the culture today. Our women running around with blonde hair, perm in their hair, our men, all types of tattoos and gang culture and thug hoodrat culture. And so when you look at the camps today, and what you see, at least of what I see, observing several ministries, several camps, what I saw personally, what I see personally, is a lot of hoodrat, thotish, Pookie and Raray type activity going on. You see the tattoos, you see the multiple piercings, you see the jewelry, you see the baseball caps, you see the Nike wearing, you see the pants drooping. You see all of that stuff, you see the multiple baby daddy, baby mama culture. You see all of this shit in the camps. And this is why it's so important to understand not only who you are, but the upper room experience that was spoken about in the book of Acts, the true conversion and the renewing of the mind. And what I've experienced, what I've seen is a lot of these camps and a lot of these ministries, they're following the same thing that they've seen in Christianity. You have 1,000 different doctrines out there. One of the biggest ones is the Sabbath, whether it's the lunar Sabbath or the solar Sabbath. I mean, one camp, the Sabbath is on Tuesday, the next minute is on Thursday. You got Purim and the Feast of Dedication. I saw a couple of new feast days that people are celebrating. None of this stuff is spoken about in Torah. However, you have all of these philosophies and all of these perspectives and all of these doctrines mixed in with all of this culture, because see, everybody wants an edge. Everybody wants to. We got 10,000 Pookie and Raray teachers. We got all these so-called prophets. When you look at the quality of the mannerism in their lives, it doesn't reflect anything holy. It doesn't reflect anything progressive. It doesn't reflect anything set apart. They have a similitude of righteousness. But you know, the age-old statement: you will know a man in times of adversity. You'll know a friend in times of adversity. You know the true intent, the true nature. I mean, I got documented proof of people that claim to be Israel, but do in direct opposition to what our culture commands us to do. See, at the end of the day, they don't care. And it's become just like Christianity. They change their names. They put on the fringes. They talk the talk, but they do not walk the walk. And this is why I say, when you look at the mannerisms of a person's lifestyle, it clearly tells you everything that you need to know. Clearly, the original Hebrews are at the bottom of the totem pole, socioeconomically. And this is why I say over and over again, when I look at the socioeconomic situation in this country, whatever's happening in this country is hitting Black America the worst. We're the least educated. We're the least articulate. The baby mama culture, you know, the same thing that's happening out in the world is the same thing that's happening in these camps. The women are jumping from man to man to man to man, having multiple baby daddies. The men are getting multiple, nobody's doing anything responsibly. Everybody's turning a blind eye. And the pride, I mean, I tell you, man, I mean, you know, it seems as though people are so prideful in being a whore, prideful in being a skank, prideful in being stupid and acting stupid and acting just like the world. You should be able to look at an Israelite woman and tell the clear difference between that and a Gentile woman. You look at these women, they don't cover their heads. They got a whole bunch of strange gods in their ears and in their noses. Just straight. I mean, just low quality across the board. So when you see this, you see what it talks about in terms of the 2/3. And the 1/3, there's only going to be a remnant. And these people are so deceived. Now, I care less about Christianity at this point in time. I'm looking at how our people behave, how our people act. The Pookie and Raray Israelites, that's what I call them. They're nothing but hood, dirty, greasy niggas that done changed their name, but hasn't changed their heart. There's probably about 1 or 2 brothers, men of Yah, real men of Yah. This one pastor out of St. Louis, he said it. He was for the streets, knocking niggas out, all types of stuff. And now his spirit has been renewed, and he is one of the most honorable men that you can ever see. I watch him on Facebook, on YouTube. But you can clearly see the conversion to a man like him to these other Pookie and Rarays out here. They don't want to work. They ain't got no jobs. They ain't got no real skill. They ain't trying to get them. The women are CNAs. Just at the lowest, truck drivers. Now, there's nothing wrong with a person earning a living. Low-skilled chicken pluckers, Amazon workers, no real skills for Walmart workers. This is where the majority of them work. This is what the majority of them do. There's very few. Or I would say, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I know certain ministries and stuff that, you know, they got a lot of professionals in there. But, it's just all about the environment that you create. I mean, I've been around brothers that, you know what I'm saying, just testing their spirit just to see, how they are, that old evil. I was, speaking, this is years ago, speaking to some brothers. And we were sitting down and we were talking. And I was like, let me test this cat's spirit and see if he's still, you know what I'm saying, street. So we were talking about, I'm from Brooklyn, New York, right? He was like, oh, yeah, you know what I'm saying, my people come from VA. I said, yeah. I said something, and it triggered him. It's like, oh, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Them New York dudes and this and the third. And yeah, I mean, you just saw the spirit come right, and I said, See, you can see how people are when, and I'm not from the streets. I mean, I'm from Fort Gein Farragut Project. You know what I'm saying? Grew up there before I got shipped off in the 80s to foster care, and that was probably the best thing that ever happened to me because that was the explosion of the crack epidemic. I got cousins, nieces, nephews. I mean, they all jacked up. I mean, all Pookie and Raray jacked up, Bonquisha jacked up, hoodrat, thot. I mean, we all have them in our family. See, I have them in my family, in my natural family, so I know it when I see it. I know the same spirit when I see it. It's no different. All they did was change their names. All they did was put on a similitude of holiness, of righteousness, but their minds and their spirits hasn't changed. Not one conversion whatsoever. Still think the same, still act the same. And you can always tell if somebody's really living a true, holy, and righteous and set apart life is when you act and when you look at the quality and the mannerisms of their lifestyle. Laying up all day, smoking Black and Miles and shit. I mean, it's sad. It's sad to see. Let alone position people that are in a leadership position. It's a clear example of the blind leading the blind. And they're going to both fall in a ditch. But you tell these people, see, this is the essence of a reprobate mind. This is the essence of people that have not truly converted. Haven't truly converted at all. And I see it clearly. But it's amazing how other people don't see it. Or other people did not see it. Trust your intuition. Trust the spirit. Because it's always going to tell you what character someone is operating in. It's a sad deal. So just because somebody don't put on fringes and the Hebrew Israelites, they went from learning John 3:15 to knowing Deuteronomy the 28th, but that's the extent of their knowledge. All these other feast days that people are coming up with, just to seem like they got some type of edge. Didn't he say that many false teachers and many false prophets would appear in the last days? We're in those days where you see all these false teachers and all these false prophets. Just full of falseness. And this is where the majority of people are gravitating towards. Sure, I don't agree with you. I'm saying, I speak about IUIC because they're the largest Hebrew Israelite clan that there is in the world. I mean, if you took all of the other Hebrew Israelite camps and compared them to IUIC, IUIC would still dwarf all of them by a factor of probably 10. You got cats that can, because I prefer them to be marching around the Staples Center than having them beat up little old ladies and whatnot. But still, in these camps, there's no different. The divorce rate is still high. The baby mama culture is still present, and nobody gives a shit. It's amazing how you can look on Facebook, and I've seen this for years. Women will have a child, walk away from the marriage, then turn around and be on Facebook flaunting with some man's child, and everybody liking it and pressing hearts it's disgusting. But see, when you got people with a reprobate mind, see, every single one of those people who like it, share it, love it, they all got a reprobate mind too. There's nothing cute about this shit. But it's loved, it's hearted, it's liked. But you really think that these people in their spirit, because I've talked to them. I've talked to, it's sad. Their lives, they're living in a state of misery and doing nothing but using social media for that dopamine hit. That's all it is. That's all it is. But their lives are in total shambles with the most uneducated, unhealthy, unambitious, unaccomplished people. Well, when you come into Messiah, all things supposed to be new. I mean, there's supposed to be a progression in your life that clearly shows. But what do you see today? What do you see today? The same thotism, the same Pookie and Raray hoodrat-ism. That's all you see. You don't see no holiness, no righteousness. Because see, this spirit has taken over the culture of the Hebrew Israelites. This is why it's amazing, it's difficult that I got to disassociate myself, because I got friends or people that I used to associate with. This is what you associated with. These are the black Hebrew Israelites. This is the culture. This is what you wrapped up with. And I got to say, hell no. Nor do I condone, nor do I associate with that shit. This is why you got to set yourself apart from all of this foolishness. Because these people are going nowhere fast. Nothing about their lives is holy. Nothing about their lives is pure. Nothing about their lives is safe or secure. Nothing. They're all struggling. They're all living below the poverty line. They're all destitute and fronting like they got something going on. It's just like the people in the fraternities, right? I'm a Hebrew Israelite. My name is Joshua, Yella, Shaka, Shwala, and this, that, and the third, and it's all bullshit. And their lives are shit. I see it time and time again. And the spirit that comes up on me is sorrow, because it's like, damn, you fronting like that? How are you going to be a man and call yourself a man and have no job, no skills, no ability to provide for your family, and you living off the backs of others? It's sad. But this is what's going on. You ain't going to do nothing with somebody that got a reprobate mind, because that's all it is. It's just nothing but a reprobate mind. What good does it do you if you know Deuteronomy, the 20th chapter, if you're not going to live in the blessings, if you're not going to truly have a converted heart and live in such a manner that you can be a light onto the Gentiles. The Gentiles look and be like, yo, man, look at this foolishness. Look at these people. They're animals. This is not no example for anybody. Look at how these people live. Look at how they operate. Look at it. And the thing about it is that they show you in social media. And see, it's one thing if it's being done in the back end, they show you right there in social media that they're unholy. They show you right there in social media that they're whores. They show you right there in social media that they got no moral and value system. They show you right there in social media that they have no standard of ethics, that they really don't believe in any law, statutes, or commandments, anything. It's just all a gimmick. It's all, but those with a discerning eye, they see, look at this bullshit. This is why I always say, by their fruit, you shall know them. Or this Most High says, by their fruit, you shall know them. You got a whole bunch of corrupt trees, and they're not producing any good fruit. That's why I always say, if I can't look at the mannerism of your lifestyle, because it'll tell you everything that you need to know. See, a person is not going to put themselves on display and say anything like, I challenge any pastor, preacher, teacher, elder, deacon, bishop to check out my lifestyle and see if it don't line up with this word. See, they're not going to do that. Hypocrites. Stage playing, boot looking hypocrites. No fruit, no increase. Be careful who you align yourself with. Make sure that they're not hearers only, but doers of the word. I know it's kind of long here, but it's just a sad, unfortunate thing of what you're seeing today. When it comes to these camps and these assemblies and this ministry, it seems like people are just getting worse and worse and worse and worse. Look at their life. Look at their life. Tell you everything that you need to know. But as for me and my house, we're going to continue to grow in set apartness and sanctification and holiness, in truth, in righteousness, in love, and in peace. You got peace in your life? Because if you do, then you have Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ the King. You got Yah. But if you don't, you got a whole bunch of chaos. And look at what we got today. Do you have peace or do you have chaos?